Am I ready to retire? It's a simple question, but most people don't ask it soon enough, and it ends up costing them those first few golden years of retirement. A lot of people end up working during those first few golden years because they're just comfortable in what they're doing, and they're not looking at retirement soon enough, and then all of a sudden they look back and three to 5 years has passed. Oftentimes people fail to start planning for retirement because they're scared of inflation or the stock market or the political environment or some other scary boogeyman. I'm not here to say that those things don't matter and downplay them, because they do matter. They're very important. But at the end of the day, you can't let them get in the way of your end goal. So what does it mean to be ready to retire? Well, retire readiness can come in a few different forms. First is mental, emotional, physical, and then of course the financial part. If you can't afford to retire, unfortunately, you're probably not going to be able to retire. Which brings us to the number one reason that you are ready to retire. That is, your golden years are flying by. Maybe your grandkids are growing up, your friends are traveling, and your traveling days are kind of ticking away, and the things that you like to do are physical, strenuous, and your body's kind of starting to tire a bit. So these are things that you can't get back. Remember, time is a commodity. It's the only commodity that we can't get more of or get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. Number two is your health is declining quickly. And unfortunately, this happens to all of us. So if your transportation or mobility is really starting to dampen and you're unable to do a lot of things that you like to do, you probably need to look in the mirror really quickly and decide when it is you want to retire. Or if it's even more severe and it's life-threatening, then that is a very obvious sign that you need to start paying attention to your health. Because when you retire, this allows you to focus on yourself. So if your health is declining, now you can spend an hour cooking a healthy meal for dinner. You can spend an hour exercising and stretching. You can spend an hour reading and working on your, mental and emotional health as well. So all those health aspects, if you retire earlier, opposed to waiting a few years, that's going to add years to your life. So really you need to look at it from that perspective. If I continue to work at this age, it may be taking years off my life. Number three is that your job has become too stressful, and this can come from a bunch of different factors. Maybe you're just tired of waking up and going into work every day. Maybe technology is just running too quickly for you to catch up. You feel like once you finally figure something out, the next form of technology is already at the doorstep. Or maybe you've just been doing this your whole life and you've never really liked your job, and now you're kind of at a point where you said, I really need to throw in the towel because I hate what I'm doing. Number four is a good bridge between the emotional and physical part into the financial part, and that is pursuing a second act. And this can come from working with a nonprofit, which obviously is not going to help the finances, but you're really passionate about it and that's what you want to do, and you can afford not to have any extra income. Or you can retire from your career job and get another job. Maybe it's a part-time job. Maybe start teaching swim lessons. Maybe start walking dogs. Or maybe you work for that retailer that you love a few hours a week, few days a week, right? And that can give you a little bit of extra income for a few years. You love doing that, and it's going to allow you to maybe go on a vacation or go out to dinner once a week. So pursuing a second act can be really rewarding, and it can be a really good bridge between full retirement and full working career time. Number five is guaranteed sources of income are enough to cover your daily expenses. I use the quotes guaranteed because nothing's really guaranteed, right? I mean, things can always happen. But when you consider Social Security, pensions, rental income, we always kind of bucket those in the guaranteed sources of income. So if you add up all of those income sources and they equal your expenses, well, it seems obvious, but a lot of people see this when they write down how much they need, how much they're receiving in retirement, and it's plenty. So do that exercise first. I have a good video that I'll put the link to here that goes over how to look at your expenses in retirement. And if those are less than your guaranteed sources of income, you're ready to retire. Number six is when you have saved enough. And this may seem obvious, But a lot of times there's so many factors that go into a retirement plan that it's hard to really pencil everything out. And this is where a CFP like myself, a certified financial planner, can help you put together a plan and make sure that you're not going to outlive your money, because the last thing you want is to be 85 and all of a sudden not be able to afford your medication or your food bill. Number 7 is no debt. Now let's be clear, there is good debt versus bad debt. Bad debt is anything over 4%. We're talking credit cards, which are the absolute worst, auto loans, and student loans. Those are kind of the big ones. And then the good debt, most of the time, is 30-year mortgages under 4%. So why is that considered good debt? Well, it's not necessarily good, but I always like to phrase it this way with our clients. Would you rather have a home that has no mortgage, or would you rather have that money in the bank that you can have access to? Once it's tied up in your house, the only way to access it is through another loan that's going to be a much higher rate. So if you're just making that minimum payment on your mortgage, it allows you to take that money that you otherwise would have put into the house and have it in your bank and access to it so you can spend it if you need it. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. I'm Gragg, your certified financial planner, and I'll see you next time.